Hello, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to the Business Brunch. The Business Brunch is here with you for the next 30 minutes, and it's continuous professional development in bite-sized chunks over lunch. So we are hoping in the next 30 minutes to impart ideas and knowledge with you that will help you in your professional life. But it's not just our ideas, and it's not just our knowledge. Sometimes we have guests, but today it's just us, but it's not just us, because we want you to get heavily involved and share your knowledge in the comments. And then we all gain and we all learn. So people are coming in already and saying hello, which is fantastic. Oh, Andy says, I don't know why it's done that. It's oh, Sarah, you lost sound. I can't hear you.
That's because I put myself on mute.
Excellent.
And great audio quality because I was on mute.
So please do say hello in the comments. Today's topic is going to be quite lively, even off air. The three of us were getting quite lively in our comments, so we want you to get lively too and start thinking about International Women's Day. What's the trucking point? So how does it make you feel? What do you think? What's working? What's not working? Please do share your knowledge and ideas and thoughts in the comments. But say hello first, and then we're going to introduce ourselves, and then we're going to kind of get into the comments. So Sarah, who's there?
So who's there? We've got David Dyers in. Hello, David. Andy's back, and thank you for the update on what's going on with our timings. Don't know why that's happening. Afternoon to you. Andy, David, true, great. There's backup again there, and Simon Bostock's in. Hi, Simon, how are you? Danny's in the house. That get me, huh? And we've also got Zubair Ahmed. Hello, ladies. Hello. Where are you calling from, everybody? Let us know. Where are you calling from? I mean, where are you joining from? I don't listen. It's been a manic morning already. I don't know what's going to happen in the next half an hour. I'm going to say I'm sorry right now. All right.
Fantastic.
And Anna Marie is in as well.
Fabulous. I think there's some more people coming through, so we'll say hello to you as you come in. Oh, hi, Yumi.
Yes.
Hello.
My screen isn't catching up, but yes, hi, Yumi as well.
Cool. So we'll kind of say more, keep saying hello. We'll come back to you in a minute, but we've not introduced ourselves, have we? So Melinda, who are you?
Hiya, my name is Melinda Ward, and I am the Director of Consulting Solutions and Managed Services at Helm 360. So I'm bringing to the table here kind of consultancy advice, business transformation. So all of this topic kind of resonates from a management standpoint and also from a business transformation standpoint. So it's all very interesting.
Absolutely.
Sarah,
yeah.
How about you?
So I'm an executive coach. I work with senior leaders and leadership teams, helping them develop their mindset and skills that allow them to achieve incredible results, which is an absolute joy. And obviously I'm interested in this because I'm a woman.
Don't say. It must have been the long hair that gave it away.
Well, you don't know, do you? I mean, let's face it. Yeah. Anyway, Vanessa, who are you?
Who am I? So I am a B2B marketer, and I'm currently looking for my next role. So if you want your brand and company to be and revenue to be revitalized, then get in contact. And today I am the host of the Business Brunch, and I am here to help us traverse this rather contentious topic.
It could well be. We've got some women in the house and some men in the house to talk about this. And this isn't just about whether you're male or female. This is about doing right and wrong and putting correct processes in place, isn't it? That actually help everybody. But Kat's in. Hello, Kat. Thanks for joining us. We have got Kay James. Hello, Kay. And David's in sunny Colchester. Not too sunny here. Dan Partridge is in. Hi, Dan. Thanks for joining us. We have Helene from Liverpool. Thanks for joining us. And Andy says, I like it. I like to celebrate the brilliant women of the world. Seems to me that we should continue to celebrate female success and achievement until we have a fairer society. Yes. Big topic. Huge topic. Ketna's in. Hello. Thank you for joining us. It's busy today. I've got
It's
a fly on my head as
fantastic.
well, which is really annoying me. Tanvir's in. Hello, Tanvir. Thanks for joining us today. And finally, for now, Dawn's in. Hey, Dawn. Thanks for joining us. Lovely.
Fantastic. So I did ask the question, how does it make you feel? So let's start that first. When people start talking about International Women's Day at the end of January and February, Melinda, what do you think? What does it make you feel?
It's a bit of a mix, really, because in one way, I could say it's a bit kind of superfluous, right? So we say, oh, it's International Women's Day, and a lot of people are kind of like, and? So the question becomes, is this designed to, like, what's the point, right? Is it designed to just say for one day, there's kind of, yay, way to go? Or is it something where we can use this as a launch pad for change?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's become more of the former and less of the latter. So it's just, that's what kind of triggers my initial response tends to be, it could be better. It could be better. We have to get away from this sort of tokenism and say, oh, well, you had International Women's Day. What more do you want?
So Sarah, how does it make you feel? What do you think?
I think it's good. I think it's good that we have there's a day, there is something that reminds people, because otherwise it would be forgotten. For some people, it's a really serious investment in what they're going to do and do differently. But for the majority, it's just a token gesture. And I think that's the problem with it. And being female, would I prefer it if there wasn't an International Women's Day? Absolutely not. I think it's important that we recognise women for the amazing things they've done. But what I don't like is not recognising women that just because they haven't become a CEO or a CFO, this isn't what it's about. It isn't just about becoming a man at the top of a tree or like a man at the top of the tree in a big organization. That does not mean success. What I love about it is when we look at women who've done incredible things, like, rode across the world or done something, really incredible stuff. And I love all of that. I don't want it to be just about business, because it's people like me that run my own business. I'm the CEO of my own business, but am I a success or not? Because I'm not part of a big corporation. Does that make me less successful? I mean, I earn less probably, but that's not the point. That's my doing. So yes, lots of mixed feelings about it. I like it and I don't.
Yeah. I always kind of think, once I was invited to speak at an International Women's Day event, and kind of since then I kind of think, oh, I've not been invited to speak anywhere. Should I look for somewhere where I can speak? Am I not a success because I'm not speaking?
Yeah,
How ridiculous. But then the other part of me is just like, oh, International Women's Day again. Okay, well, tell you what, ladies, you fly the flag for me, because I've got packed lunches to make. I've got uniforms to iron. I've got to get the kids to school. I've got to feed the dog. I've got to make dentist appointments. You carry on doing what you're doing, because I've got all this
going on. Yeah.
So there's that, really. So I'm sensing that there is in the room. Oh, let me tell you what Lorraine wrote. So Lorraine wrote, and then this is just her opinion. She says that she finds it incredibly patronizing. It comes the day after National Cereal Day and the day before Barbie Day or National Meatball Day. Take your pick. Those are real days. She didn't make that up. Half the world's population celebrated like a minority issue or a retail product. It's insulting, in my opinion. And I get that. I can't argue with that. At the same time, for all the things we've read, I mean, this year's theme is embracing equity. We're supposed to hug ourselves. Hug yourselves. Embracing equity. All the photos are kind of this. Embracing equity. But do we have equity?
No.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I know I said something off air that you went, but you can't say that. And I said, I can and I will. Until men can have babies, it will never be equitable. I'm sorry, I just don't see it, and it doesn't mean that we can't work towards being more equitable. I don't mean that. It just, women, that they have, I'm going to say some words here, all right? Periods, menopause, we give birth. We are the main, for the majority, not all, but we are the main caregivers to the children. We were attached by an umbilical cord, for God's sake. That has some hormonal stuff going on in our bodies. Until that doesn't matter or it's used as an advantage in business, it's never going to be equitable, because it's how our lives can't change. We can't change the biological function of our bodies. So if we're going to make it equitable, we have to create a work environment where anything is possible for everybody.
Yeah, and it is one of those tricky things too, isn't it? Where if you say, there was a recent UK government proposal around giving people, I believe it was unpaid time off, but still protecting the jobs, where if they need to deal with menopausal issues. And then I saw some interviews where there were some, and obviously this was meant to be contentious, there were some men saying, well, I want days off too. Yeah. And it's like, and it's not fair that people should have, time off when I can't have time off. And it's kind of like, yeah, but
it's time off, is it?
It's dealing with medical appointments. It's dealing with that. And just as like someone who happens to not have menopause, just being aware this can be an issue for people who are trans as well. So it's, it crosses boundaries in that regard. But if people are having time off for dealing with medical issues, we could just say medical leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Let's go to.
So I think the question comes down to packaging as well. It's like, are we doing well by people by putting it in this bucket? Because what if you don't need time off for menopause yet, but you do need time off because you've got endometriosis, or if you're a male, you do need time off because you've need treatment for a cancer of something or something like that. So to me, it's like, in some cases, labeling isn't the right thing to do, but in other cases, it is necessary. So it's a trick. It's a bit of a minefield, really. And how do we deal with that? But I think in particular,
let's get on with some comments, because there's so much coming through.
Yeah,
but,
let's go to the comments, and then we'll.
Anna Maria, celebrating IWD while having inflexible structures that don't really give women the recognition for their actual contributions is not ideal. No, absolutely not. Why do when I see IWD, do I think of a coil?
IUD.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. I wonder if there's anyway, sorry, off on a tangent. I think it's a good reminder, but I think there needs to be much more work done on equality and celebrating female achievements. For me, equality is key, and there is so much more to do. Absolutely. A natural celebration. I love being me, a woman. That's lovely. And Andy says, I like Melinda's point. It can't be a token day. It has to be a genuine celebration. Sarah's point is very powerful too. I'd love it to lead to a fairer society, is to be part of getting us to a better way. Absolutely. Kat has said, maybe we should have an International Women's Day off. Funny what Vanessa said. I like that idea. When we're getting force-fed our definitions of success downloaded from irrelevant sources, feeling successful is quite a challenge, even when you meet the criteria. Yeah, I totally get that. And how do you embrace something that isn't there? From Kay. Yeah. This is true, Sarah. Very true. I don't know which bit. But yeah,
all of it, Sarah. Just all of it.
I go with it all. It was painful. Okay. Maybe that was giving birth. I don't know.
Giving birth.
and yes. Oh, hold on. Sorry, there's more. Vanessa's point. Very, very good. Excellent food for thought. Okay, James. Okay. I don't know what that was referring to. Exactly. We are different. We all need the flexibility and actual chances of succeeding. Yes, we flipping well do. And what is success? Whataboutism at its finest.
This is about men wanting the time off as well.
Yeah. We don't only need new opportunities, we need actual chances.
I'm going to come back to that in a minute, because that's what I want to pick up on.
Medical leave, yes. I'm just whipping through these, because this is clearly a topic we are all interested in. We need to work on removing the female taxes. It's inexcusable for civilized society.
Absolutely.
Amen to that. Yes. Mm-hmm. And from Anna Maria too.
So this is what I want to pick up on. And then this is what I've been thinking about more, and as I've had discussions with friends about this leading up to today. all the I'm getting a bit peed off about kind of celebrating success, even with women who get to travel around the world, because not all women have that capability.
No.
There are countries where equity is even worse, where people are being child brides as soon as they have their periods. We've got class that goes against us. Working from home makes it better for women, but not when you're on a production line. So there's a working class versus breaking through glass ceilings thing going on here. So it can't just be about that celebration of success, because there are women who are living every day who aren't living equitable lives, who are just existing. So I think, and what kind of what this is getting to is that all this about having to do something different for women, whether it's about menstruation or menopause or maternity or whatever, this is always being judged against men being the norm.
Mm.
And we've got to stop men being the norm, because people are the norm. Because in order to have an economy that works, men and women have to work. So we've got to stop judging women against men and just start seeing workers as workers, and how best can we help our workers thrive, which means better childcare and all these things that support families and life, so that everyone is and that's equity, isn't it?
Yeah, well, and that's like you look at family, or leave when someone has a baby. It should be, and it's getting better in the UK. Other countries aren't there yet, as far as having fathers being able to take time off as well, because there's nothing wrong with the concept that perhaps the mother of this child would like to go back to work. Perhaps the father of this child would like to be the primary caregiver in the early years. There is zero wrong with that. But many companies' policies, and I'm speaking kind of on a global scale, really just give the leave to the mother, and the father gets maybe a week or whatever, and that's that. And if they ask for more, they get pushback. Now, that's not only frustrating for the fathers, but it's also disempowering for the women who want to go back to work quickly and have worked it out within their family. So, I mean, isn't it their problem to solve? Not, the company should be able to support that decision of family leave instead of specifying who should take it.
Yeah,
So
well,
those kind of things where International Women's Day could really make a difference.
That leads exactly back to Vanessa's point, doesn't it? About it, this should be about how do we make this work for human beings, not a male or a female or anything in between, whatever you decide that you are and want to be. James makes a good point. I think it is important. It does give us an annual marker. And it does help us talk about it and make things better. If we just let it slide, we wouldn't be talking about it, would we?
True.
And make it better. There it is, spot on. From David and Dawn. Having specific menopause leave is divisive. Medical leave should cover everything. Yeah, absolutely. Just call it leave. I think that's what Melinda said. Just make it medical leave. Men cannot have periods or menopause. Political correctness gone wrong.
Yeah, because what it does, in my opinion, it undermines, the women who are coming forward, and it's forcing them to say, I'm going through this thing, and not just, here's a note from my doctor, I need some time off. Boom. And that will put a lot of women off as well, because who wants to go into their boss, who might be quite, a bit old-fashioned, and have an awkward conversation to say, there's this thing that women have, and
it is really awkward. And Kat's point's interesting here. Is read about a country who use parenting leave rather than maternity. Love it. But I'm just thinking back to, even as a in my early 20s, one of my first jobs where you want to make a good impression. I remember really struggling, going to use the word again, periods, pain, agony, feeling ill, exhaustion, turning up to work, trying to be a medical rep with my boss in my car next to me, thinking I was going to faint, couldn't say a word because I didn't want to say the word period, or I've got period pain. It starts so early on.
Yeah, we've got to get rid of this whole
Yeah,
And
why
we're
should I have
bodies
to
are
be
different,
fair?
therefore we are shameful because
Yeah,
of it.
you
We've
know,
got to normalize menopause and periods just so that there is no shame
no,
and we are just humans, dealing with what we
going through life.
yeah.
Anna Maria, totally on board with Vanessa. It's not our entire life. Yeah, we need to reassess what we're doing. And Kay, we have a women and equalities minister who said last week that considering menopause as a protected characteristic is a lefty concept. So we need to have space to have these conversations. Hell yeah. In autism, we have a toxic narrative about people with autism or ADHD, dyslexia, having superpowers.
Yeah.
Interesting. Why do we need people who don't fit the normal narrative to have superpowers? So they feel like they fit in and they've got something special.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's right, by the way, but we don't expect men in the workplace to have them. So why do we look for? Can't see the whole thing.
Them in women, it needs to be more than just a celebration.
There we go. Yeah. Totally, Melinda Ward. If you're trusted with the choice or who does what for the work that is not monetarily productive. Amen. There's a lot of support going on the chat here. I believe the most helpful thing for women is to celebrate the humanity in all of us and all aspects of it. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that point about the superpower is interesting. And I mean, yes, it's you want people to feel that they're not less because of a difference of any kind. And that does make good sense. And is saying something is or is not a superpower, is that making other people feel,
Well, then you're feeling
more
less
sensitive to it. But I think
sorry, can I just jump in back to James's point? I did notice, I know we're not talking about LinkedIn at the moment, but I got to a point where I thought, if I'm not autistic, if I don't have ADHD, if I'm not dyslexic, I'm not black, I'm not a lesbian, I'm not something, I'm not this, I have nothing special about me at all. So I started to feel like I was on the outside, just being boring, white, blonde-haired, fake female. Sorry, but yes, but Dawn says, we stop pussyfooting around with the language, just say periods and menopause frequently in public. Yes, just shout it out, Dawn, and it will become second nature. You might also get put in an asylum. I don't know. And Zoe's in, who's probably thinking, what on earth have I joined? Hi, Zoe.
yeah.
Okay, so we've got 7 minutes left. So
so I think we should talk about what we would like to see.
Yeah, that was my point that I was just about to get to. Let's now say, there's this pink washing thing that companies are doing that perhaps isn't helping the cause, but we need to have this conversation. So what do we want to see? Go for it. So things that kind of piss me off is when companies put pictures of their women on social media and they ask all the Indian ladies to wear the saris to work today because it looks beautiful and colourful. And it is pink washing, isn't it? Because what are they doing behind the scenes to actually help women? Let's hear some real stories. What pees you off about the day? What are they doing wrong, and what do we need to do instead?
I would rather see companies, instead of saying, look, we've got a female on our board. Hey, that's cool, right? I'd rather see things like let's promote the policies that we have in place to ensure that people get the training, the exposure, the support, and like shadowing or whatever they might need in order to succeed. Do you have a rejoining work program for people who are coming back from family leave or rejoining the workforce after some time away? That's what I want to hear about, and that's what will make your company stand out. Mm-hmm. So
I totally agree with that. I
think these kind of things don't just show us a photo of a woman, in a boardroom, say, hey, we've got one.
And we wheel her out on occasions.
Yeah.
I got asked to join, not recently, a year or so ago, I got asked to join a company as an associate just so they had a woman on their website.
I've been told, like, when I got my first professional job, so obviously that was some years ago, and I did ride a dinosaur to work.
2 years ago.
But I was told that in my 3-month checkpoint review, oh, well, of course, I only hired you because you were female and HR told me I had to.
That's not helpful.
No,
No,
and I
it's
had
not.
joined a department where in 10 years of existing, there had never been a female working, and I was the first. And I knew that some people, like that boss, resented my very existence and breathing, until I proved that I could do the job equally, if not better, than the men that they'd always hired.
Yeah.
And it was better, by the way. They did
Yeah.
finally admit that in the end. But anyway, what are you thinking there, Sarah?
I was just laughing at Kat's
Yeah.
comment. I loved it. Zoe says, I want to see posts about women's successes all the time, not just in March. Yes, Zoe, totally agree. And can we stop just assuming that, for example, if someone set up their own business, it's because they couldn't join as the board of a CEO or something like that. Maybe they chose to do that. But actually, something I was thinking about was, why do I do my job? I think I chose it because I wanted to make a difference and I felt I could do it better running my own business. But actually, the truth behind it is I couldn't make that difference in a business. That's why I did it, as well as I wasn't given. I used to get to 5 o'clock and panic that I wasn't going to get back to pick the kids up. My husband didn't feel like that. He couldn't because he was in London, so it wasn't his job to get back. So making, as Melinda said, making it more possible for us to do, everybody to do a job.
And that's kind of just coming back to what you said about your husband there. What I want to see are more and more businessmen, managers, leaders normalizing picking up the kids, normalizing saying, oh, I need to cut this meeting short because I've got to go and help my child do this, or I've got to take my child to the dentist, or or make those dentist appointments. I think men need to step up and show that they have families too, so that all the weight isn't seen to be all on women.
Yeah, and I think a lot of men do. I know my husband does. I've taught him how. But we're breaking the pattern. There wasn't so many years ago that men never changed a nappy, so we are getting somewhere, and there are a lot more allies that are on our side. But actually, we need to stop making it such a big thing and just making it a thing where we just can all exist and do our job. Melinda, return to work for both parents needs to be done better. Yeah, absolutely. The return to work stuff is big. Simon Ward, such a strong point, Melinda. Rejoining is a much bigger issue. There are companies out there that focus on that. And if anybody wants to buy a book on how to cope with that, it's just behind me, Leader Unleashed, 28th of March, just saying. Because that's about, well, the thing is, when people have had time out of work, not only do they lose their confidence, but they feel like they've lost some competence too. And we're not onboarding properly. We're not providing a safe space for people to onboard successfully. So women avoid it or take a lesser job or something else.
And Simon raises a good point about how gaps in CVs are treated as well. And if you left to have a child or something, then there's always this person's going to be unreliable underlying message, which is not helpful.
No, absolutely not. I'm just looking at Andy's message. So he's saying, just let women be without expectations. Women are brilliant and we'd be knackered without them. Yeah, I don't necessarily, from a procreation perspective, men have to step up. Andy's laughing at I've taught him how. Yeah, he's still laughing, Andy. Melinda, hit the nail on the head. Policies at the moment, for example, companies are promoting they have working from home or 4 days a week. What about companies promoting their menopause policy, for example? Or just make jobs possible for humans to do their work and accept we have families rather than anything specific. But it's better than nothing. We can't ignore single mothers. Absolutely not. Often mothers and some men too. I think employers need to give their men more support to do this with children. Just last week, I was told that about a dad that could not have the flex to do the school run. Let me see what else it said.
And that's also wrong. And that's limiting for the woman in that dad's life, potentially, like his partner.
Yeah. Right, Vanessa. So what now? In the last 30 seconds.
Last 30 seconds, I think we've all agreed that we've got to embrace equity properly. And it isn't just about empowering women, it's also about empowering men to step up to be dads or parents or members of a humane society.
Yeah, share that responsibility.
People to be the best that they can in every way. And make childcare affordable, because by not making childcare affordable, you're stopping women from
That's
working
huge.
and contributing to the economy and giving them that financial independence and freedom that we all need. So there we go.
Don't make it when we get to 4 or 5 o'clock that we sit there sweating with anxiety that we need to leave, and we know if we do, everyone in the room is going to go, oh, it's all right for you to go. That needs to stop. Flexible working, please, for everybody.
So we'll stick with International Women's Day, but we'll do away with the pink washing, and we want to see some real action.
Can't believe I wore pink today. Thank you, everybody, for all your contributions. What a lively chat. I think we could go on about this. We should have done an hour on this one today.
I know.
Thank you, everybody. Much
we'll see you all
appreciated.
next week. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
Bye.